there, everyone. Andy Carlson coming to you this morning with a sniper scalping recap session. It is Wednesday, August 22nd, second to last week of August. Actually, the last full week of August. And wow, pretty, we're in the midst of the grips of summertime trading. But in spite of that, the sniper finds a way to do pretty well. And we're going to focus on crude oil today. I wish I could show you 2 or 3 markets, but I'm running a little bit behind. We got Jerry coming in to do the strategic prep at 11:30, so we're going to focus on what crude did in the market today. We'll focus on our Sniper Extreme black line cross trading system, and the arrows you see on the screen are produced automatically by the signal calling indicator. As you watch our black line down here in the Pulse Extreme indicator itself cross from the gray area to the colored area, if you have an up close bar, you're going to get a blue arrow, and then when it crosses from the colored area to the gray area, if you have a down close bar, you're going to get a red arrow. So let's just go ahead and look at the trades that were available in crude oil since about 7:30 a.m. this morning. You can see we started off with a great, nice winner here. A stop management technique that I taught several weeks ago that I'm a huge fan of personally would have had you sticking with this trade and actually adding on to the position and then reaping the rewards of this next big move up. Why would you do that? Well, if you look at the black line, you'll notice that we didn't get 2 moves against our buy trade. We got 1 move down here, but then quickly recovered and started back up. And we're going to keep our stop in place until the black line moves against us twice. And that's when we tighten our stop up and look to get out of the trade. So in this case, we would have been good to go to add on to this position for a big winner. Now, one of the other techniques that, well, I'll talk about that in just a second. You can see the second short, just a gorgeous winner. Not a huge win here, but a nice 7-8 ticks available. And then this one buy trade, I want to talk about this trade. You know, one of the things that we've been highlighting over the summer here is this idea of learning to become a trader and not being a robot, and how to use our action line effectively to help you do that in some ways. And this trade, I was very honest, this is a trade I would execute because we did have our action line starting to slope up nicely. Okay, so there are some reasons more conservative traders may not have executed this trade, but me being a more aggressive guy, I would have been in on that one and I would have sustained a loss. However, another concept that I talked about today that I want to highlight here in our recap video is this idea of when we go long, like we did here, once the bars turn or the action line turns gold, if it turns back to gray or black, you might want to consider getting out of that trade. And you can see we got long and we had a huge run up. We got short. The action line's gold, you get your profit target, and you're good to go. Here on this trade, we get long, but then you can see the very next bar, the action line turns back to black. So that would be an area where instead of adding on to this position like I otherwise might do, I'm not going to do that because the action line turned back to black. I'll actually get out of that trade and only lose about 6-7 ticks on that trade. So watching the color of that action line, and if you get into a trade, your action line is gold and looking good, but then it transitions back to gray or black, that's really a heads up that you could use to be a little bit more conservative and say, you know what, I'm going to cut my losses and wait for something better. So then we get the nice short here. Boom, gorgeous big win available on that trade. Our black line, you can see, crosses from the gray area to the colored area. Signal fires, boom, we're long. Notice how even though we pulled back and took a little bit of heat, we would have been able to add on to that trade at value with confidence. Why could we do that? Because look at our black line. It didn't hook down at all. So we could be very confident that this trade had more room to the upside, and sure enough, boom, very nice. Here's another example of a trade that really turns out to be a break even if you use this strategy that I just talked about. So you get short on the Sniper Extreme signal, but then over here, Let me move this circle. Boom, the bars turn gray. The action line, excuse me, turns gray. So you get out of this trade at 96.50 and you were short at 96.49. So basically a break even on that trade if you use that concept of, you know, you're in a short trade, you got a gold line, but then it turns back to gray, you get out, boom. You could have cut your losses, basically turn that into a break even. Then we're good to go. We're long. The action line stays gold for us the whole time to get a nice huge target out of that trade. Boom. Okay. We do not get short here, a short signal here, because we need to get to that -2 line to get a short signal and the +2 line to get a long signal. So we avoid getting short, and then our auto signal calling extreme black line cross indicator fires for a long. Boom. Nice winner. Go ahead, guys, and start typing in questions if you have any. Stardust, I see your questions there, and I will definitely respond to that once I finish this recap. But if you guys have any questions, start typing them in so I can answer them ASAP, and we can turn things over to Jerry. So you can see at 10:30 we had a burst of price action. We had a nice short for a winner, nice long for a winner, but then all this price action happened inside of 30 seconds or so. So clearly we wouldn't be interested in any of those signals. But now we're about a minute out, and aggressive traders could easily get right back on the trading here, and there's a nice 9 or 10 ticks available on that short. You notice the black line here, it's in the gray area, boom, 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 boom. It crosses to the positive area, up close, we're long, nice winner. And here's a short where you can see the black line, or the action line is black this whole time. So if you're a little bit more conservative, you easily could have avoided that losing trade based on being in consolidation. There is a little bit of a slope down in that action line, not enough to turn it gold. You know, honestly, I probably might have got myself sucked into that trade, especially because crude oil had been trading so well. But then we quickly would flip out of that trade and get long here on the buy, and it'd be a small loss, not too bad, and we get it right back on the winner. Short down here, you know, we broke out below the consolidation here. So once again, this is an area where it would be hard to stay off that trade. We're not going to win them all, guys. And that one would be kind of hard for me to stay off, and I would probably sustain a loss on that trade. But then, boom, we're right back on the winning ways for a nice win. And in the live price action, short here for a nice win, and now we're long. We'll see if that trade turns into a winner. So let me just count this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 3, 12, 13. So 13 and 3. You know, and we talked about how some of those trades you probably could have avoided, or at least kept your losses really small using some of those techniques. 13 and 3 in the middle of the summer for crude oil, guys. Not too shabby. Okay. Let's see. We got a couple of questions here. How can we make the action line change color? Amika, there are some training sessions that describe that. You have to have your settings correct, okay? So make sure that you go to, there's a Word document, or there's a document, I think maybe it's a PDF, in the archive that gives you all the settings, the correct settings for all the markets. So that's another thing that I would encourage you to talk to Eric about and get some support on. Getting yourself, that's all setup related, so you want to talk to Eric about getting yourself set up correctly. Column says, if you have a vert and sniper signal but not a cross yet, would you always wait for the cross? Marie, I think you know how I'm going to answer you. I'm pretty sure you do. That is the type of a question that it's going to be different for every person, okay? It depends on how you've created your personalized trading plan. I currently right now am in the mode where I'm mostly only trading the extreme. But does that mean the standard sniper and the vert lines are not still awesome? Of course they are. Nothing's changed. I'm just in extreme mode. That's exactly right. So you have to determine whether you want to make that part of your plan. That's 100% what it comes down to. All right, guys, that's going to be a wrap. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Hey, if you're out there and you're listening to this recording, let me just say we're we're winding things down on our 2012 Las Vegas seminar. Jerry's actually doing a bonus session today that anyone could participate in live if they go ahead and get signed up for that Las Vegas seminar. As we mentioned, we have made the decision to record the seminar, so even if you're not able to attend the seminar live, you can still take advantage of all this incredible information. We've packed easily $10,000 worth of value into this seminar that we're charging just $1,700 for. You get the fully automated edge trading system. You get two different bonus systems. It's not only one like we advertised. Jerry's actually teaching two different systems that's averaging over $5,000 a month. Jerry's trading it, showing the trades that it executes every week. He'll be doing live pre-Vegas sessions every week until Vegas. And then that's not even, that's all just the pre-Vegas stuff. And then there's tons of value what we're doing from a sniper perspective, on and on and on in Vegas. So, guys, if you ever wanted to get a dose of Jerry, if you're a sniper trader, for example, and you wanted to get a dose of the Master Jerry Simmons, this is the most cost-effective way to get a huge dose of Jerry Simmons. So anyway, email me if you have any questions on that. We have a few spots left for live attendance. And, of course, we'd love to have you join us via live stream if we're able to pull that off, like I hope we are, or at least with the recordings if you have a schedule conflict and can't make it to Vegas. Okay? That's a wrap, guys, and we will see everybody back here bright and early tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.